Welcome back. We're joined now by David Dodge. He's former governor of the Bank of Canada, of course, and now senior advisor with Bennett Jones, joining us to talk, of course, about the move yesterday by the U.S. Fed and the signals it's sending, David, about the U.S. economy. Lots of comparisons being made now between Jerome Powell as he fights inflation in the U.S. along with his colleagues at the Fed, and Paul Volcker in the 1980s, credited with slaying very high inflation, but the economy did tip into a recession way back then. How concerning are the signals from the Fed of slowing growth and rising unemployment compared to its earlier forecasts?
Yeah, their earlier forecasts, I think we all thought were optimistic, but I don't think the comparison with 1980-81 is really quite valid. And the objective of the Fed at the moment should be, and I think it is to move quickly to something that is at least neutral, 2.75 or 3, something like that, and then wait and see how much effect that, plus what we don't know, the great uncertainties are global events, what global events impact, how they will impact domestic inflation. So I take the move as being very sensible, a little late in one sense in catching up, but not as presaging that they will have to carry on and ram rates up the way Jerry Bowie and Paul Volcker did in 1980 and 81.
You don't see the Fed signaling a path to restrictive rates beyond neutral into restrictive territory?
Well, we don't know. They don't know. No one knows how events in the world are going to play out. This is a very, very uncertain time. What is clear is you need to get policy up to being no longer accommodative or being very mildly restrictionary. You need to get there. How far you need to go beyond that, events are going to tell.
Does this open the door to the Bank of Canada itself raising rates by 0.75 of a percentage point, 75 basis points? The early takeaway among economists at least 4 major Canadian banks is a resounding yes.
Look, I think it's been quite clear that we need to get up to neutral. Central banks need to get up to neutral in North America quickly to make up for lost time in 2021. And whether they're going by 50 points, 75 points, or even making a full point move really isn't so much the issue. The issue is to get it up quickly and to signal to the world that they are getting it up to neutral. They are no longer going to provide the accommodation they have been providing since the pandemic.
This is a blunt question, I know, but how do central banks do this without creating an unemployment picture that in fact tips, or without triggering recessionary conditions in their respective economies, which come hand in hand with rising and very damaging unemployment?
Yeah, but look, be careful. We have currently over full employment. We have over full employment. We've gone farther in creating demand than the supply, the global supply and domestic supply can accommodate. So some rise in unemployment is important at this point in time, not to drive it to the sorts of levels that we had in 81, but to drive it up from these levels, which we are now finding out are no longer compatible with stable prices.
The Canadian dollar, how do you expect the Canadian dollar to react over the next several months, given the revised rate expectations at both central banks?
Yeah, I never make a forecast on the Canadian dollar.
Do you think the Canadian dollar factors into the thinking of the Bank of Canada?
Yes, of course it does. Of course it does, because at least in the medium term, um, the price of imported goods in this country are an important contribution to the movement in the aggregate level of prices. So yeah, of course it does.